Hi, my name is HANAAN. I am coming to you from New Jersey, where I live with my husband and our daughter. On this channel, we talk about knitting. At the moment, solely right now, but I do hope to get into, I do hope to learn how to sew and crochet a little bit and embroider, and then mending, which is probably going to be my next thing that I learn how to do. I don't knit hoping that there will be holes worn into them one day, but I've been watching a lot of visible mending videos on Instagram and YouTube, and I'm really excited to repair my socks and my garments one day. It's so beautiful, the techniques they use. Anyway, so eventually I hope to get into all those things one day and share them with you here. But today we're going to talk about my knitting, and there's not that much for me to share because I have been severely ill. And I haven't been able to knit nearly as much as I want to. I've been chasing a toddler around every day, all day, and then by the time I put her to bed, I'm exhausted. So just a few minutes a day of knitting. So this video won't be long, and all of my finished projects are socks. What can I say? Socks are small, wonderful, satisfying projects for me. I didn't want to stop knitting altogether, so socks were all I could manage during my time away from YouTube. I can't promise that I'll always have as many projects to share as I did in the first video, but they'll all be exciting to me and made with such love and care. I just want to start off, before I get into any of the things that I created, I want to start off by saying thank you so much for the warm welcome to this online community. I was shocked by the reception that I received. I wasn't sure that people would find my video, much less watch it in its entirety and leave such encouraging comments and tips and tricks, and then follow me on Instagram and message me there. It just renewed my love for the craft and for the people, and I just want to thank you so much for being here with me. So let's get into it. The first project that I created is based on a quilt that I have had pinned on my Pinterest board for many years. I've always loved this quilt. I love red and green together. I love these shades in particular, and I love the motif. So I decided to get onto Stitch Fiddle and do a little thing. And I'm sure this has been done before. I just haven't seen it. So yeah, this is what I did. I love them so much. I had so much fun making this, so much fun. These flew off the needles so fast. This is a perfect red, like I said before. This is a perfect red, and this green with the red, oh my gosh. So the yarn is Jameson Spindrift in the color Sphagnum, and the red is Knit Pick Stroll in the color Buoy, of course. Aren't these gorgeous? Aren't these gorgeous, if I do say so myself? I love them so much, and they came out better than I imagined. So the green yarn is not a sock yarn. It is Doesn't have any nylon in it. It's just wool, and I don't think that this is the best yarn. This, like, I feel like it's woolen spun. I don't know anything about spinning, so I'm not even gonna say what I think it is, but I know that there are better 100% wool options to choose when making socks. I've been watching Emma Robinson's videos a lot. I love her so much, and she has a video on how it's called no nylon socks or something. I'll have it up here. She only makes socks using wool. She has really great advice on how to create long wearing purely wool socks, and I was inspired, so I was like, you know, I have this yarn, let me just use it. And I'm sure that one day, once I start wearing these socks and wearing them regularly, I'm gonna wear some holes into them, but then I get to mend them. Anyway, I decided to just go for it, and they came out so beautifully, and they're so much more squishy, and knitting with them was such a joy. The wool was just so bouncy and elastic, and I don't know, beautiful. So the construction, I casted on 72 stitches using a US 1 needle using the magic loop method. I knit 3 regular knit rows to get this little roll on edge. This sock was self-drafted, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned that. But I knit just 3 rows to get that little roll in my favorite rib, 2x2, for 20 rounds. And then I got into the pattern that I made. I always try in my socks as I make them, so I knew where to mark for the heel, and then I took a break, did the heel how I always do it. Did this heel based on the Afterthought tutorial by the Crazy Sock Lady, and then knit the rest of the foot, and then my standard toe. Some of you left some wonderful tips on different heel techniques to do that fit similarly to the heel flap and gusset. I love the fit of that heel. I don't like the look of it though, so I've done it once and I didn't do it again. And I really want to try those tips out and take your suggestions eventually, but I was so sick. I just decided to just go with what I know to create this sock, and I'm really happy. The fit is really good, and they're so beautiful. I've been staring at these for weeks, just in awe of how gorgeous they came out. I mean, I hope I don't sound, I just love everything that I create, and well, not everything, you'll see. But I really love these, and I just want to make that clear. These are one of my favorite. This might be my new favorite sock, actually. Anything else to say about this? No, I think I said everything. Moving on. So the next sock I made was a pressed flowers socks. The Pressed Flowers sock by Amy Christophers, I believe. I didn't take any notes, so if I got the designer's name wrong, I'll have it on the screen, but I believe it's Amy Christophers. And I've been looking at this design for many, many, many months. Just the motif, the design, the socks that other people have knit, the color combinations are just so beautiful. And this is the texture of it, and I just finally decided, I'm gonna buy the pattern and just make it. I've been a bit overconfident in my sock knitting. I was, at least when I bought this pattern, and I didn't read anything. I didn't really study the chart. I didn't look at the, notice that there were symbols indicating different things, didn't look at the key, nothing. So when I just kind of looked at the chart as I went and thought I was doing it right, but then I think I got to the end of it, or almost the end of it. Is what it looked like. When I realized, this doesn't look like other people's socks. This, something's off here. So I went back to the pattern, looked at it, and realized that I did not incorporate any of the slips or the purls that the pattern called for. So I ripped it out and started over. Not to be negative, but I'm gonna be negative. These socks almost had me quit knitting. Not really, but I did not enjoy the process of creating these socks, not one bit. I don't know, like, it came out beautifully, in my opinion, like really beautiful. The design is beautiful, and everything that other people have created, gorgeous. But I don't know what, I think maybe the color combination for me, it's a little muted, a little toned down than what I usually knit. I get excited by really bold, saturated, contrasting colors, and this was really not my usual. So that was really, it took it just took me longer because of I don't know, it took me longer than usual to get through one sock, and part of it is that I didn't memorize the pattern until I got to the second sock, maybe halfway through, where I was like, you know what, let me focus and just memorize it so I can just do it without looking. And for the first one, every single line I had to refer back to the pattern, every single line. And I did make a few mistakes on both, but I was not about to go back and correct them because I just didn't enjoy it. I didn't enjoy this. I'm really happy to have them off my needles. I'm really happy to be done with them. I'm really happy to have them in my collection of handmade socks, but I don't think I'll ever be knitting this pattern again. I won't say, okay, maybe I shouldn't say ever, like never ever. Definitely if I do, I will be using some more exciting colors, maybe red and green. No, like maybe something different, something, I just love red and green so much, but maybe definitely some bolder colors. But yeah, these are the pressed flower socks. I wish I loved the process, but I didn't, unfortunately. Oh, another thing to mention is that there are two charts. Hope I'm not giving too much away. There are two charts in the pattern. I did not do the first chart at all. The first chart was for, I believe, the leg portion, and then the second chart was for the rest of the sock. I just did the second chart. The yarn, I don't remember what the names are called. I'll have them on the screen. The green was gifted to me by a friend, and I know the white is Cascade Heritage, maybe in the color Snow. Don't know, but moving on. Alrighty, so my last finished object are these striped socks. And they look weird on camera, but yeah, these are them. Why did it look so weird? I don't know. But these are them. And yeah, a little bit of information about the yarn. I used some more Jameson Spindrift. The yellow, the gold is Jameson Spindrift, and in the color, I'll have it on screen. And the blue is Cascade Heritage, and the color, I'll have that on screen too. And actually, before I even get into these, I want to share some failed projects. Actually, right after the first sock that I created, the red and green ones, I was like, ooh, like I really want to do some more quilt-inspired socks. So I went back onto Stitch Fiddle and did a thing, created these with yarn that I already had. I don't know about the color combination. I wasn't sure about it from the beginning, but this is what I like. I will be so excited when I can purchase more sock yarn, because I'm missing a lot of colors that I would love to be able to utilize in a project. But anyway, this is what I came up with, and iffy about the color combination. But ultimately why I didn't continue and finish the project is because there were a lot of long floats in this design, and I don't like catching floats. But so I was hoping that if I just knit loosely and just really be conscious of, you know, pulling the yarn too tightly, then it would be fine. But my tension was off and the socks didn't fit the way that I like them to fit, so I quit them. And then the next failed project was based on Summer Lee's Little Dot Socks, I believe. I watched her podcast and I love the modification that she made to her pattern, and so I don't actually have the pattern, but I went on to Stitch Fiddle and did something, and it's very, very, very similar. Probably, dare I say, the same, but this is what I created. And also color combination, not entirely sold on them. I did share them on Instagram, and my Instagram is here. I did share them in my stories, and when I took a photo of them, I was like, wait, like, these look like Pokeballs. Like, why didn't I notice that they look like, once I saw that, I could not unsee it, and I was like, ooh, I don't know if I like these anymore. But yeah, I decided to power through it, and I actually finished one sock. Let me actually get it. This is unblocked, so it's a little crazy looking. I was gonna finish it, and then when I was about to start the second one, I decided to take a break. I nodded off on the couch while my toddler was kind of like running around, and I woke up after nodding off for like maybe less than a minute, and then woke up and she completely destroyed my ball of yarn, completely. And I tried to detangle it, and it's just a mess. And so I was like, maybe it's a sign, like I just need to just let these go. I used the same needle size that I usually use for color work, which is US 2. I always size up for color work like this, and I don't know why it's so tight. Like, it fits. Like, if I really pull it over my foot, it fits. But I don't know, like, it stretches like this, like so much that the design doesn't look as good. And also the heel is not as deep as I usually make it, so it was just really uncomfortable. So this was a fail. Looks kind of cool, but unfortunately, that one. Yeah. So this one is also a sock. Back to these. This is also a sock that I almost quit on, but I pushed through because these are big for some reason. Same. Well, are they? They're not that big, I guess, but they look really big. So I really wanted to do striped socks, but I made a mistake here. These socks are 8 rounds by 3 rounds, 8, 3, 8, 3. So in my mind, I was like, okay, like I can't cut into the middle of the yellow because it's not an odd number. And so what row would I cut into? So I'll cut into the blue because it's 3, and I'll just cut into the second one, and then it'll be nice and like, I don't know, the heel will look nice. But I cut into the second round here, and then I was left with just 1 round of blue here and 1 round of blue here. And I was like, I don't know how that would look at the end. I hope I'm making sense. Follow me, like try and follow me. I'm so sorry. So I decided to, in the heel, add 2 rounds each of the blue on both sides, just so they could match up with the 3 here, and then switch to the yellow and do my typical heel. But this stripe, it's kind of just like bunched up here. This stripe looks smaller anyway than these other blue stripes because for my heels and my toes, cuffs, heels, and toes, I use US 1 always. And I use the US 1 here for these blue stripes here. But then for these here, I believe I used a US 1.5, so it's a little bit bigger. So I made a mistake there. What I should have done was do this. I should have done this. Well, I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. I need to consult the sock project book and see how she does her heels for the stripes. Maybe she has an afterthought heel in there with a stripe pattern. Don't know. I should have looked at it. But maybe what I should have done was do the stripe here, the 6 blue stripe. I have no idea how to make these better. Like, I wanted the stripes to be continuous and nice. Don't know how I could have done this better, but instead of quitting again, I decided to make the second sock. And yeah, these are them. And they're a bit big, but they'll be comfortable like house socks, and I don't know. Yeah, so that's the third finished project that I have today to show you. And I did want to share my champagne cardigan. I did finish it, and this is it. Well, I didn't finish it completely. The hole in the armpits still there. I'm gonna take your tips and use this yarn to kind of sew it up from the inside so that the hole isn't as apparent. And then I didn't sew on any buttons because by the time I finished it, it was way, way, way too hot to wear this. So I didn't do that. I wasn't in any rush to put buttons on this and to wear it. So yeah, I've been looking on Etsy to see what I might want to put on it, and these are what I'm thinking about. If you can tell me what you think, let me know what you think would look best with this color here. I'm still very unsure about this color. I prefer warmer colors, and this is like, again, a taupe, a grayish, not my color at all. I could have used maybe 1 inch, 1 more inch of length on this. The button band, beautiful, gorgeous button band. I just think that my row gauge, is row gauge like up and down when you're measuring? When you make your gauge swatch, you measure across and you measure up and down. I think the up and down part, I never measure up and down. So I think my row gauge, hopefully I'm getting this right, is off because the button band needs to maybe be reblocked and stretched out more because it makes it come up in the front when I'm wearing it. I'll insert a photo of me wearing it or a video or something so you can see. So this needs to be finished under the arms, reblocked possibly, and buttons need to be put on it, but beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, let me know what you think about my projects in the comments below. Let me know what you're working on. Maybe share some patterns that you think I might enjoy. I'm always looking for fun patterns to make. I don't know what else. I hope you all have a beautiful, beautiful weekend and a safe week. I'll see you next time. Bye.